Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel Dear Mathematics, and also welcome to the topic of complex number. In this particular session we are going to discuss about the vital section of the complex number, that is argument of a complex number and also principal argument of a complex number, and also the difference between argument of a complex number and principal argument of a complex number. Before going to the difference, let us see what is the definition of argument and what is the definition of principal argument of a complex number. So here it is the definition of argument of a complex number. Before going to argument of a complex number, first of all we have to consider any complex number. Suppose it is z is equal to x plus iy. That complex number is represented by a point pxy in the Gaussian plane, or you can say that the complex plane, xy plane. And then that point is connected to the origin O. Suppose this is the point pxy is represented for the complex number z is equal to x plus iy. Then we have to connect OP. We have to connect OP. And then we have to measure what is the measure of rotation from the positive direction of x-axis. So here it is the angle theta which OP makes with the positive direction of x-axis in the anticlockwise direction sense is called as the argument or amplitude of z, that is argument of z, and here it is theta. And the angle theta has many values differing by multiple of 2 pi, because this is theta, this is argument of z. If we go through a complete rotation and again reach through this point, then this is also argument of z. Similarly, multiple angles can be derived differing by 2 pi to get the argument of z. So this is the argument of z. What is the principal argument? This is the principal argument. It is also denoted by theta. Generally principal argument is denoted by theta, but it has a restriction, because the unique value of theta, here we are getting many values of theta differing multiple of 2 pi, but here we have to find out a unique value of theta by using or by conditioning or by taking the condition of restriction of minus pi less than theta less than equal to pi. That means theta must be greater than minus pi less than equal to pi. Then this value of theta is called as the principal argument, otherwise it is called as argument. So let us see what is the difference between argument and principal argument in different quadrants. So let us discuss about the difference between argument and principal argument of a given complex number. And it has 4 types, because we have 4 quadrants. So it is the case number 1. Suppose we are considering the first quadrant. Here it is the first quadrant. That means the point will lie in the, here it is argument of complex number, and here it is principal argument of complex number, and here also the point lies in the first quadrant. There is a point OP, XY axis. Okay, let us see what is the difference between the argument and principal argument. Just we have to, argument means what is the angle of rotation or measure of rotation of the OP from the positive direction of x-axis. Okay, here it is the rotation. So this is the argument of z. Here it is principal argument exists there by taking the restriction of minus pi less than theta less than equal to pi, and here you can see that the angle as it is lies in the first quadrant, so it must be less than 90 degree. That means it must be less than 180 degree. So it is satisfying in the first quadrant. So here also the principal argument is here, principal argument of z. That means the argument of z and principal argument of z is same here. That means in the first quadrant, argument of z is equal to principal argument of z. Then moving towards to the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, it is case number 2. Suppose this point lies here. Then we have to find out the angle of rotation or measure of rotation of OP from the positive direction of x-axis. Again, as it is lying in the second quadrant, so it must be less than 180 degree. That means it is satisfying this condition, minus pi less than theta less than equal to pi. And here also in argument case, just we have to find out the measure of rotation from the positive direction of x-axis without any condition. That means here also this is the argument of z and here it is principal argument of z. Principal argument of z. And in the second quadrant also, in the second quadrant, argument of z is equal to principal argument of z. Let us go through the third case. In the third quadrant, if the point P lies in the third quadrant, then what will be the argument of that complex number? Here it is Pxy. It lies in the third quadrant. Just we have to find out the measure of rotation from the x-axis up to the OP line. Here it is the x-axis. Just we have to find out the angle of rotation that OP makes with the x-axis. So here it is the argument of z. This is the argument of z. But whenever we are trying to find out the principal argument, like the argument case, just it is not satisfying the condition minus pi less than theta less than equal to pi, because the line OP lies in the third quadrant. That means the angle is much greater than the 180 degree. So it is not satisfying the condition minus pi less than theta less than equal to pi. So we cannot go for this diagram here. Just we have to change the diagram and we have to go for the clockwise direction so that it is in clockwise direction, so that we can accept this restriction, clockwise direction sense. And here it is the principal argument of z. That means in the third quadrant, argument of z is not equal to principal argument of z, because it is not satisfying the condition of minus pi less than theta less than equal to pi, because principal argument definition tells that it must satisfy either in clockwise direction or in anti-clockwise direction. So if you are trying to measure the angle in anti-clockwise direction, then it is greater than 180 degree. So we have to measure this angle from the x-axis, positive direction of x-axis, in clockwise direction, so that it will satisfy the condition. And here it is the principal argument of z, or you can say that it is theta. Then in the fourth quadrant, it is the case 4. If the point lies in the fourth quadrant, then the argument of z, just we have to find out the rotation or the angle that is made by the line OP with respect to the positive direction of x-axis, and it is measured in anti-clockwise direction. But whenever we are trying to measure this angle in anti-clockwise direction, then it is greater than, because this is 270, this is 0 degree, this is 90 degree, this is 180 degree. As it is lying in the fourth quadrant, so if you are trying to measure this angle in anti-clockwise direction, then it is must be greater than 270 degree. But the condition tells that it must lie in between minus pi and pi. So we cannot measure in anti-clockwise direction. Again, like the third quadrant, we have to measure it in clockwise direction. That means here it is the principal argument of Z. Here it is the principal argument of Z. So in the fourth quadrant, it is the argument of Z. In the fourth quadrant, argument of Z is not equal to principal argument of Z. So this is the four differences between the argument of Z and principal argument of Z in four different quadrants. Then let us find out the value of the principal argument of Z in each and every quadrant, and then we have to solve some of the problems based upon them respectively. Then let us find out the value of the principal argument in different four quadrants. I have taken here two quadrants. After the completion of these two quadrants, we will see in the later cases of those rest of the two quadrants. So first of all, let us find out the principal argument in the first quadrant. To find out the principal argument of a complex number, first of all we have to represent the given complex number in the respective quadrant. In the first quadrant, x must be greater than 0, y must be greater than 0. In the second quadrant, x is less than 0, y is greater than 0. To find out the principal argument, first of all we have to find out the angle that is made by OP with the x-axis, and it must be a acute angle. Suppose this is alpha, here it is also alpha. First of all we have to find out the angle made by the OP with respect to the x-axis. Either it is positive direction or it is negative direction, and alpha is the acute angle. So let z is equal to x plus iy, here x greater than 0, y greater than 0, represented by the point pxy. It lies in the first quadrant. It lies in the first quadrant. Alpha is the acute angle made by OP with the x-axis. Then we have to find out the value of alpha. In the first quadrant, theta is equal to alpha, because as this is the acute angle, so here principal argument is equal to the acute angle made by the line OP with respect to the x-axis. So in the first quadrant, theta is equal to alpha, that means the principal argument of Z, theta is equal to alpha. That means theta is equal to tan inverse modulus of y upon x, because we have already evaluated the value of alpha in the triangle OPM. Here it is the OM is x and PM is y. But let z is equal to x plus iy, here x less than 0, y greater than 0 is represented by the point Pxy in second quadrant. In the second quadrant. Let alpha is the acute angle made by the line segment OP with the x-axis. Let alpha be the acute angle made by OP with the x-axis. So here in the second quadrant, principal argument of z theta is equal to, just we have to find out the rotation that OP makes from the positive direction of x-axis. Again, it must satisfy minus pi less than theta less than equal to pi. That means the angle must be in between minus 180 degree less than theta less than equal to 180 degree. That means either it is less than equal to 180 degree or it is greater than minus 180 degree. So first of all, we have to find out the measure of the or angle of rotation from the positive direction of x-axis. So it is the principal argument of z. So it is theta, and it is measured in anti-clockwise direction. So it is positive. And here theta, how can we evaluate theta? Because we have alpha here. Alpha is given to us because the value of alpha is equal to tan inverse modulus of y upon x, and we can evaluate it by taking the help of Pxy. So theta can be evaluated as this is 0 degree, this is pi by 2, this is 180 degree. So the total angle is 180 degree. That means pi. Here it is alpha. So pi minus alpha, just subtracting this or just minus, taking the minus of alpha from pi, we are getting theta here. That implies principal argument of z is equal to theta is equal to pi minus tan inverse modulus of y upon x, and here it is the formula of principal argument of a complex number which lies in the second quadrant. That means x less than 0, y is greater than 0 given in the complex number. And this is the formula of the principal argument of z in the first quadrant, and this is the formula of the principal argument of z in the second quadrant. And also there is a very simple fundamental is here, as all of the angles here it is theta, because just we are measuring the angle of principal argument of z from the positive direction of x-axis. That's why here theta is equal to alpha. But here alpha is in the second quadrant, but we have to find out the principal argument of z, that is theta, from the positive direction of x-axis. Alpha is known to us, theta is unknown to us. So theta can be measured by pi minus alpha. So it is all about the fundamental behind the principal argument in the first quadrant and also principal argument in the second quadrant. Another thing, as we are measuring the angle theta from the positive direction of x-axis and also in the anti-clockwise direction, so why we are getting here positive value. Here we can get here positive value. But if you will consider or measure the angle theta in the clockwise direction, then we have to put a negative sign here, and that will be applied in the third quadrant as well as in the fourth quadrant. So let us study the principal argument of the complex number in the third quadrant and fourth quadrant. Let us discuss about the principal argument of the given complex number in the third quadrant and also in the fourth quadrant. Here in the third quadrant, the point Pxy is represented for the complex number z is equal to x plus y is lying in the third quadrant. So let us first of all find out the acute angle alpha here. Just taking the help of a perpendicular from the point P to the x-axis, we can find out the value of alpha. But we have to find out the principal argument of the given complex number in the third quadrant. According to the previous notes, you know that the principal argument is measured in the anti-clockwise direction here. Here it is theta, because if you will try to measure this angle in the anti-clockwise direction, then it will be greater than 180 degree. So to restrict it in the condition, given condition of principal argument, we have to measure it in the reverse direction, that means clockwise direction. So in the third quadrant, theta is equal to, how can we measure the value of theta here? Theta can be measured as the total angle is here below the x-axis. It is pi. It is 180 degree. Pi minus alpha. But the condition is here that theta is measured in the clockwise direction. That means we have to put a negative sign. So theta is the principal argument of z in the third quadrant. So theta is equal to minus pi plus the value of alpha is tan inverse modulus of y upon x, and it is the value of the principal argument of z in the third quadrant. Again I am repeating. First of all, we have to find out the value of alpha here, that is made by the line OP with the x-axis. First of all, we have to draw a perpendicular here from the point P to the x-axis. Then we can measure alpha by taking the help of a tan inverse modulus of y upon x. Then we have to find out the principal argument. Principal argument is measured from the positive direction of x-axis. We cannot measure the theta from negative direction of x-axis. Alpha can be measured from the negative direction, but the theta we have to measure it from the positive direction of x-axis. So theta is measured in the clockwise direction, because if you will measure this theta or the principal argument in the anti-clockwise direction, then it will be greater than 180 degree. So we cannot measure it in the anti-clockwise direction, because the condition is we have to restrict them in between these parameters. It must be less than equal to 180 degree and greater than minus 180 degree. If this point is here and we are measuring in the anti-clockwise direction, then it is greater than 180 degree. But we have to restrict them less than 180 degree, less than equal to 180 degree. So in the third quadrant, principal argument of z, theta is equal to minus pi plus tan inverse modulus of y upon x. Why the negative sign is here? Because we have measured theta in the clockwise direction. If any angle is measured in clockwise direction, then it is a negative angle. So phi theta is equal to negative of pi minus alpha. Okay, let us start for the fourth quadrant. First of all, we have to find out, or we have to measure the alpha here while constructing a perpendicular from the point P to the x-axis. Then in the fourth quadrant, theta is equal to, as you know that this is also theta, this is also theta. The value of alpha is very much equal to theta, but it is measured in clockwise direction. So theta is equal to minus alpha. Here you can see that very much theta is equal to very much equal with it alpha angle, but theta is measured in clockwise direction. So theta is equal to minus alpha here in the fourth quadrant. So theta is equal to minus tan inverse modulus of y upon x. So these are the four formulas. What are the formulas? Let us write down again. What are the formulas of the principal argument of a complex number in different quadrants? In the first quadrant, theta is equal to alpha. That implies theta is equal to tan inverse modulus of y upon x. In the second quadrant, theta is equal to phi minus alpha. That means theta is equal to phi minus tan inverse modulus of y upon x. Then in the third quadrant, in the third quadrant, theta is equal to minus pi plus alpha. That implies theta is equal to minus pi plus tan inverse modulus of y upon x. Then fourth, in the fourth quadrant, theta is equal to minus alpha. That means theta is equal to minus tan inverse modulus of y upon x. So these are the values of a principal argument of a complex number. Principal argument of a complex number in the first quadrant, in the second quadrant, in the third quadrant, in the fourth quadrant. Then let us solve some of the problems based upon these formulas. So here it is the most important problem based upon the principal argument of a complex number, and all of the 4 bits of the problem are based upon the 4 quadrants of the complex plane. So let us solve the problem number 1 is here. The complex number is given by z1 is equal to 1 plus I, that is equal to 1 plus 1 into I. It is in the form of z1 is equal to x plus yi. Here x is equal to 1 greater than 0 and y is equal to 1 greater than 0. That is, it lies in the first quadrant. So alpha is equal to tan inverse modulus of y upon x. That means tan inverse 1 upon 1 modulus, and here it is tan inverse 1, and the tan inverse 1, the value of 1, it is tan 5 by 4. That means it is 5 by 4. So alpha is equal to 5 by 4. But we have to find out the principal argument, that is theta of the complex number. In the first quadrant, we know that in the first quadrant theta is equal to alpha from the definition. Then theta is equal to 5 by 4. So principal argument of z1 is equal to 5 by 4, and here it is the solution. Then moving towards to the second bit. So moving to the second bit, the given complex number is z2 is equal to minus 1 plus I. That means minus 1 plus 1 into I. It is z2 is equal to x plus yi. Here x is equal to minus 1 less than 0 and y is equal to 1 greater than 0. So it lies in the second quadrant. Alpha is equal to, again we have to determine the value of alpha, tan inverse modulus of y upon x. That means tan inverse minus 1, okay, it is plus 1 the value of y, then minus 1, tan inverse modulus of minus 1, that means tan inverse 1. Again the value of a tan inverse 1, we know that it is 5 by 4. That implies the value of alpha is equal to 5 by 4. Then we have to find out the principal argument in the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, theta is equal to 5 minus alpha. That implies theta is equal to 5 minus pi by 4, and it is 3 pi by 4. So principal argument of z2 is equal to 3 pi by 4. Then moving towards to the third bit. It is the third bit. Z3 is equal to -1 minus I. Here X is equal to -1 less than 0, Y is equal to -1 less than 0. It lies in the third quadrant. Then first of all we have to find out the value of alpha, the acute angle. Alpha is equal to tan inverse modulus of y upon x, that means tan inverse modulus of -1 upon -1, that means modulus of tan inverse modulus of +1, and this is pi by 4. So alpha is equal to pi by 4. Then we have to find out the principal argument in the third quadrant. In the third quadrant, theta is equal to minus pi plus alpha. That implies minus pi plus pi by 4, and it is minus 3 pi by 4. So theta is equal to minus 3 pi by 4. That is principal argument of Z3 is equal to minus 3 pi by 4. Then solving the last one, fourth one. Z4 is equal to 1 minus I, that means 1 plus minus 1 into I. Z4 is equal to x plus iy. Here x is equal to 1 greater than 0, y is equal to minus 1 less than 0. So it lies in the fourth quadrant. So it lies in the fourth quadrant. Alpha is equal to tan inverse modulus of y upon x, tan inverse minus 1 upon 1 modulus tan inverse plus 1, because modulus of minus 1 it is plus 1, and it is 5 by 4. Then we have to find out the principal argument in the fourth quadrant. In the fourth quadrant, theta is equal to minus alpha. That implies theta is equal to minus alpha, that means minus pi by 4. So principal argument of Z4 is equal to minus pi by 4. So it is all about the basic problem or basic fundamental based upon the principal argument and the fundamentals behind the problems of the different quadrants. Then moving towards some of the other fundamentals or other basic concepts of the principal argument of a complex number. Then moving through some of the basic concepts, here it is the complex plane. We can find out the principal argument in all of the four quadrants. Then what is the value of the principal argument of those points which are lying on the lines on the x-axis? Either it is positive direction or it is negative direction, or it is the positive direction of y-axis or it is the negative direction of y-axis. So we have to find out the principal argument of those points which are lying on the points. Principal argument of those complex numbers which lies on the axis. Those complex numbers which lies on the axis. The first one is here. The condition of a principal argument. The first one is we have to measure from the positive direction of x-axis. The second condition is minus pi less than theta less than equal to pi. The restriction. The restriction must be obeyed. So we have to go for these two conditions. First of all, we have to measure it from the positive direction of x-axis. Then we have to measure it in such a way that it must lie in between minus pi and pi, but minus pi less than theta less than equal to pi. So if it lies on the positive direction of x-axis, suppose the point lies here, that means this is OP. So it has no measure or no angle of rotation. So here principal argument is equal to 0. Here theta is equal to 0 degree, because there does not exist any angle of rotation. Second one, if it lies on positive direction of y-axis, if theta lies here, then we have a measure of a 90 degree here. Without going for the formula, or without applying the formulas of principal argument, or without evaluating alpha theta here, we can directly put, or we can directly write down the principal argument is theta, because this angle is of 90 degrees. So if P lies on the y-axis, here theta is equal to pi by 2. Then third one, if it lies on the negative direction of x-axis, suppose the P lies here, then the total rotation is pi and equal to pi, and we can take it, because we can take theta is equal to pi or less than pi, and here we are getting theta is equal to pi. That means the total rotation, here is the point P, and here is the total rotation, we are getting 180 degree, and it is acceptable. Theta is equal to pi, because theta is either less than pi or theta equal to pi. Both case is accepted here in the restriction. So if the point for the complex number z is equal to x plus iy represented or on the negative direction of x-axis, just write down the principal argument theta is equal to pi. Then in the fourth quadrant, on the negative direction of x-axis, if it lies on the negative direction of y-axis, suppose it lies here, P lies here, we cannot measure in this direction, it will be wrong. Just we have to measure in the anti-clockwise direction, and you know that all of the quadrants in xy plane are of 90 degrees. Similarly, as the point P lies on the negative direction of y-axis, so here is also the measurement gives us the result as pi by 2, but as the angle is measured in the anti-clockwise direction, so theta is equal to minus pi by 2. As we are measuring the angle in the clockwise direction, it is clockwise direction, so the angle is negative and theta is equal to minus pi by 2. So these are the circuit formulas to evaluate the value of the principal argument of any complex number if they are lying on the axis, that means either x-axis or y-axis. So let us solve some of the problems are here. so that it will be easy to determine these values. So here it is the problem. Find out the principal argument of the following complex numbers. The first one is 1, the second one is the first one is z1 is equal to 0 plus I. The second one is z2 is equal to 1. The third one is z3 is equal to -1, and the fourth one is here z4 is equal to -I. Okay, let us solve it. Given that z1 is equal to 0 plus I, that means it is 0 plus 1 into I. Here x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1. That means it lies on the positive direction of y axis. Here it is 0, 1. It lies on the positive direction of y axis. X dash, y dash. So theta is equal to pi by 2. Directly you can write down theta is equal to pi by 2, and it is the solution of the first. Then moving to the second. Given that z2 is equal to 1, that means 1 plus 0 into I. Here x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 0. That means it will lie in this place on the positive direction of x-axis. It lies on the positive direction of x-axis. Here it is the positive direction of x-axis. So theta is equal to 0 degree as per the rule. We have already discussed it little while ago. Then moving to the third problem. Given that z3 is equal to -1, that means -1 plus 0 into y. Here x is equal to -1 and y is equal to 0. So the point is here -1, 0, and it is on the negative direction of x-axis. So it lies on the negative direction of x-axis. So theta is equal to pi, because this is the principal argument. Then the last bit is here. Given that z4 is equal to -I, that means 0 plus -1 into I. Here x is equal to 0 and y is equal to -1. That means the point is here 0 -1, and it lies on the negative direction of a y-axis. It lies on the negative direction of y-axis. So theta is equal to -pi by 2. It is measured in the clockwise direction, and angle is must of pi by 2. So it is principal argument is equal to -pi by 2. So it is little bit lengthy video session for the chapter of complex number, and very much conceptual course and conceptual topic for the complex number. So in this particular session we have discussed about argument of a complex number, principal argument of a complex number, then the difference between the argument and principal argument of a given complex number, and solve some of the problems based upon that.